Hello, welcome to Flutterbug Auto. Today I'm talking about Spark the Electric Jester 3. Spark the Electric Jester 3 is, as you might imagine, the third game in the Spark the Electric Jester series, which is a Sonic-like platformer series by indie developer Lake Feppard, who previously worked on a lot of Sonic fan game stuff before moving on to making original games. I'm not honestly the biggest fan of Spark 3 overall. I like the other two games in the series a lot better, but it is notable to me for its driving portions, which were honestly extremely good, and I just absolutely love how it feels to drive in this game. It's so good that I honestly don't even remember much of anything from the entire rest of the game, which I played only a few years ago when it came out, but I do always remember and think about the driving section. Basically, we have a racing game made by a Sonic fan game developer on our hands here, and honestly it's a match made in heaven. Like, the sense of speed is amazing, because Sonic fans know all about how going fast is supposed to feel, and you have all these crazy inversions and wall runs and shit, because again, Sonic. And the very most satisfying part, in my opinion, is the drift mechanic. Drifting in this game feels super satisfying, thanks in large part to the big over-the-top whoosh that you get when completing a drift. It's just, it's so good. I could do it all day. My only complaint is that some of the turns are a little bit on the narrow side for the speeds you move at. I often had some issue not running into the walls on some particularly narrow corners. But besides that minor issue, I absolutely fucking adore these driving segments. It's some of the most satisfying driving I've ever seen in a game. And at the time, I always wanted these to be expanded into a full racing game. Well, fast forward a bit, and it turns out Lake Feppard is indeed working on a racing game. I was super excited to hear this until the monkey's paw curls, and it turns out it was an F-Zero-like instead of an expansion on the driving segments from Spark 3. Uh-oh. I am not a big fan of the 3D F-Zero games or similar games to them at all. Though, like, I can understand that direction. It's like big overlap with Sonic and Sonic aesthetics, but like, for me, I'm completely lost by 3D F-Zero games. Though I am a little weirdo who loves the original Super NES F-Zero. I might talk about that at some point in the future, we'll see. So yeah, huge disappointment. This is not exactly the gameplay or aesthetics I was hoping for at all. Like, being a Sonic-like game, and therefore Sega-like, you get this wonderful Sega Blue Skies type of vibe built into the driving in Spark 3, which I adore. And it's just really not the vibe of XF Extreme Formula at all. The game has great reviews though, and I know a lot of people are into F-Zero type racing games, so again, like, I get it. It's just me who's disappointed in the direction change. However, I then recently discovered that there was at one point a whole racing game being made with the concepts from Spark 3's driving. And also not only that, it basically completely surpasses everything in Spark 3. It's even more perfect, and I'm even more upset that it was never made into a full game. Like, my god, look at this. This has so much style, so much sauce. It's beautiful. Like, look at that scenery. It's amazing. The mechanics here are all the same as in Spark 3, but just like better. Even more satisfying. Gone are the kind of too narrow turns, and instead you have these big wide open roads, huge curves where you're free to enjoy drifting, and the ability to brake during drifts for added precision. It feels amazing. The tracks are also filled with obstacles like oncoming traffic, and if you sideswipe them you get charge added to your turbo boost, so you get rewarded for risky driving in a really fun way. In Spark 3, you could only increase your boost by collecting batteries, so you just end up spending a lot of time with no boost. Whereas in this game, you can constantly build it up all the time, and it feels really good. There's so many big interesting shapes to the tracks, big huge inversions and narrow sections that test your reflexes to weave in and out of. All of it a complete joy to experience. There's even a fucking boss battle at the end. Absolutely incredible. I've never played a racing game with a boss fight like this. It uses the game's mechanics to great effect. You can build up boost by driving close to the flames it shoots out, and then use the boost to smash into it and deal damage. It's so fucking cool. The only real problem with this game is just that that's it. That's the whole game. There's a whole, like, 20 minutes of content, and the game was never finished. There's supposed to be an entire career mode aside from the adventure mode, which is what you get to play in the demo, and I presume there'd probably be more tracks and cars. I'm so disappointed that this just straight up turned into XF Extreme Formula, because, like, this is different. This is a different kind of racing game, and it deserves to stand on its own too. I think one of the highest compliments you can give to a game is when the only negative thing you have to say about it is that it's too short, that you want more, you know? If you want more out of a game, I think that's one of the highest praises that I could give to a game. But yeah, this video is kind of just for me to stand here and sing my praises of XF Drive to the skies in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, Lake Feppard will come down and bestow upon me the finished version of the game so that I may live my life in peace and tranquility from now on. Definitely go check out XF Drive since it's a free demo. I'll have it linked in the description. Also, Spark 3 too if you'd like. Here's crossing our fingers that someday we can see a return to this game. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll be back soon with even more racing game content. See you soon!